The rain that drenched San Diego on Monday created an out-of-control torrent of water in southeast San Diego. Greg Montoya stood outside of his house on Beta Street.
The water came up all the way to about the 4-foot mark on that front door. The inside of the house is total.
The brown water raged along the concrete canyon, flowing over its banks. Trees were uprooted, fences were pulled down, and cars got tossed around and dragged into the muddy floodwaters raging toward San Diego Bay. Deluge overwhelmed Chollas Creek, where houses sit next to the concrete channel in spots. It's exactly the kind of thing Groundwork San Diego has been working to avoid.
Chollas Creek has many, many branches, and many of them do have concrete channels. And what happens when the water hits, when the storm water hits the street, it goes into a storm drain, goes into the concrete channel. It wants to go out as quick as possible.
The downpour came mostly on Monday morning, with several inches of rain falling in the space of just a few hours.
Look at the fence posts. For that to happen, that's got to be an awful lot of force. Cars were carried away. Again, because the water is going too fast. And if we have the room, make it wider, slow down the water, it's not quite as impactful.
The National Weather Service says storms like this one are not uncommon in the region, but the intensity of the rainfall got people's attention. San Diego has a long history of flooding, but El Nino and climate change played a role.
All the climate change is really doing is making it a little more extreme. Sometimes it's dry, sometimes it's wet, sometimes it's warm and cold, but it's exacerbating a condition that's already in place.
Even though the atmospheric river never actually came ashore, the storm pushed enough rainfall into the county to lift seasonal rainfall totals out of a deficit to just above normal for this time of year.
Atmospheric rivers can be very beneficial because they bring up to about 50% of our precipitation. And we need that, right? We need water. It fills our reservoirs, it's good for the landscapes. But when they last too long or are too intense in period, they can be hazardous.
Rain is moving out of the region for a little while. The next storm is expected in early February. Erik Anderson, KPBS News.